Well, hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Image Lives, where you're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. That's right. You're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. Hello, I'm Brother Charles, your host, and we have another fantastic program for you today. Another beautiful discussion. And this discussion that we're going to be talking about today is something that's very interesting because it allows you to enter into freedom. That's right. It allows you to enter into freedom. Our top first discussion today is forgiveness. That's right, forgiveness. The topic that we're going to be using is the essence of forgiveness. But before we get into our discussion, we like to build our discussion on biblical principles and scripture, and today is no different. But here again, let me say this. If today is the day that you arrived upon the planet, happy birthday to you, my friend. That's right, happy birthday to you. Why? Because God didn't make no junk. You are somebody. You're somebody. We believe that a better you makes a better world. A better you makes a better society. When you get better things in your life, it's going to get better. It's not because of the politicians or the educational system. Nothing is going to get better until what? You get better. When you get better, things fall in place. So we believe that you are somebody. And not only do we believe that, we know that you are somebody. We like to build our topics of discussion of biblical principles and scripture, and today is no different. Our topic for discussion today is the essence of forgiveness. The essence of forgiveness, and the scripture that we're going to be using comes out of the Gospel of Matthew, Matthew the 18th chapter, the 21st through the 22nd verse, and it deals with forgiveness. It deals with forgiveness. This is our main theme that we're talking about, and those verses read as thus. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Jesus says unto him, I say unto thee, until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. It's very interesting, isn't it? It's a great deal of emphasis here being placed on forgiveness. Now, whether you know it or not, until you practice forgiveness, you're not going to move forward. You can't move forward. Forgiveness really means to just release. It means to release. And sometimes people want to hold on to our pain. Say, what's hurting you? You're holding on to something that's hurting you. It's hurting you in the mental realm, not necessarily the physical realm, but the mental realm. In the physical realm, you can really recognize the fact that if you hold on to a hot coal, you will hurry up and drop it. Why? Because it's causing pain. It's causing pain. But in this mental realm, if someone hurts you and they really got next to you and they hurt you and you around telling people about what he or she did to you, you're holding on to it. And you have to learn how to forgive. You have to release that. See, because the longer you hold on to that particular situation, the deeper and the more pain it causes in your life. That's right, to forgive. It's very interesting that we learn how to forgive. In the Course in Miracles, it says that forgiveness really means to remove a block in my awareness to love in my presence. To remove a block in my awareness to the love, to the presence of love that's in me. So when you hold on to resentment, you're holding on. Someone done something to you, that's resentment. You're holding on to that. You haven't forgiven them. And until you forgive that person, you're going to create more what? Misery and pain for yourself. So it's very interesting that we learn how to practice what? Forgiveness. You see, your life's not going to get anywhere until you learn how to release, learn how to practice forgiveness. It doesn't make any difference what he or she did, because what someone did to you should be termed as a living experience, as an experience for you to learn from, not something for you to hold on to, talking about, look how they did me, look what they did unto me. No, that's you didn't learn anything from that. See, whenever these incidents happen to you, it means that what? That you need to learn from that particular situation. That's the whole point, that there is a lesson in that, my friend. There's a lesson for you to learn, and learn that, see, so you will recognize that thing the next time it comes, and it won't have the same effect upon you. You will not allow it to have that type of effect upon you, causing you misery and pain. See, to forgive people means what? You can enter into freedom. You can't enter into freedom holding on to resentment. See, as long as you are against someone, as long as you have bitterness and hatred against a person because of something that they did, then you, my friend, are going to create more misery and pain for yourself. It's just like one person said, you're taking poison and waiting on somebody else to die. Not the case, my friend, not the case. It's very interesting that you and I would look at forgiveness as something that we should practice on a daily basis. Because if people practice forgiveness, there would be no war. There would be no wars. There would be no divorces. There would be no fights and anything. Why? Because forgiveness. You're not going to hold on to anything that's going to cause resentment and retaliation. And so you release that thing. You release it and you let it go. See, it doesn't have a seed in you, whereas it can flourish and grow in you. See, why? Because forgiveness releases it and it lets it out. I find it very interesting here. Jesus makes a very intriguing statement. He says, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." Forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Have you ever done something and you were in a state of you didn't know what you were doing, but you did it, and you could be really hurting someone and bringing pain upon someone and not be aware of the fact that you are hurting them. Why? Because you're in a different level of consciousness than they are, and you're not aware of the fact that you're hurting people. So Jesus alludes to this fact. He says, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." So when people do all kind of dumb, stupid stuff, don't take it personal, my friend. Don't take it personal. Why? Because you have to learn how to forgive them. Say, hey, that's not who they are. At that particular point in time in their life and their existence, that's what they were doing. But it doesn't define who you are. So it means, in essence, that you know exactly who you are. So therefore, you don't let what people do define how you're going to respond to them. You just, okay, let it go. Let it go. Don't take it home. Don't hold on to it, because if you hold on to it, it's going to morph into resentment. She said something that I didn't like what she said about me. Well, I'm going to get her. I'm going to get up. So we're going to retaliate. No, you didn't forgive it. Forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. When people operate at that particular level, it means in essence that they're operating in a level of consciousness that they're not aware of. So they're doing something they're not aware of the pain that they're inflicting, because that's not who they are. People were created in the image of God. We've all created in the image of God. So when you see people doing all kind of stupid, crazy things, that's not who they are. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. You and I as individuals must learn how to what? Practice forgiveness. Practice forgiveness on a daily basis. Practice it all the time. See, when you practice forgiveness, you can what? Move into freedom. Excuse me. You can move into freedom. That's right. You can move into freedom. Why? Because there's nothing holding you back. See, so you don't have anything holding you back. See, if you're carrying around resentment and hatred and things of that nature, you can't move into freedom. Why? Because it becomes a weight. It becomes a burden. It's going to hold you back. You can't be the person that you were put here to be. You can't be a person of love. I heard a very interesting statement. An individual said that this person said, "I have a problem with you." He said, "Oh, yeah?" He said, "Yes, I have a problem with you." The man said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Well, let me hear it." And the man told me, he said, "Well, you don't have a problem with me." He said, "What you mean?" He said, "Because I am I. I'm I, and you're talking about you. I don't know who you're talking about. I am I." See, and so that's what you mean. He said, "You got a problem with you. You don't have a problem with me. You have a problem with you. The you you're talking about. It's not me." See, we have to learn to forgive people. Let it go, my friend. Let it go. No matter. Don't ever take on the role of a victim, saying, "Look what they done to me." Don't ever devalue yourself like that. You're bigger than that. You're bigger than that. Practice forgiveness. When people do all kind of dumb, stupid things, say, "Okay, I realize that they're operating from a different level from where I am. I'm going to forgive them. I'm not going to hold that against them. I'm going to release that." Why? Because it's going to impede my growth and development. And when people do things, say, "Hey, here's a lesson that I'm learning. This is something that's in my path for me to learn how to do, and therefore I'm going to observe this, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to release them, because I can't grow and develop if I'm holding on to resentment. So therefore I release it, no matter what it is. So I'm not going to allow that type of thing to exist within my being as a human being. See, because I'm a spiritual being having what a human experience. And I'm here to present love, not hatred or bigotry. So therefore I forgive you. I forgive you because I know that's not who you are, but you're coming from a different place, a different level of consciousness. So you, my friend, and I will learn how to what? Practice forgiving. When people cut in front of you in the lane in the car, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Forgive them. Practice forgiveness, my friend, at all times and all states, and you will see how beautiful that you will grow and become a beautiful individual. Until next time, this is Brother Charles with Enriched Life. May love, joy, peace, and happiness forever be with you as you walk upon this good earth that God has given us. And remember, my friend, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our station. We would love to hear from you. Give us some comments. Let us know if you like this program. Remember, practice forgiveness. You become a better person when you do. You grow and you develop. Why? Because you learn how to forgive. Until next time, you be blessed.